One of, if not my favorite thing about playing fighting games is having a main. There's just something about having a character that not only you represent, but represents you in the world of competitive gaming I just really love. But the time between I started playing Smash 4 and the time I chose my main was months on end. I wanted to play Luigi, Diddy Kong, Falco, Lucas, Bowser Jr., Mewtwo, Kirby, and Meta Knight, all before finally deciding on my main, Mega Man. So believe me, I know how hard it can be to finally settle down with a single character. So today I'm going to give you a few factors to consider when choosing your character. The first thing to decide is the obligatory choose your archetype decision process. Like all fighting games, the characters of Smash 4 fit into different archetypes determined by their moveset and playstyle ranging from all-rounder to technical. They're all pretty self-explanatory, so I'll just give you a brief description of each. The all-rounder archetype is easy to learn, good at everything, with easy to execute killing moves, plenty of simple techniques, and tend to have no obvious weaknesses. Usually the jack of all trades, master of none archetype, in that they really don't excel in anything but are prepared for everything, and because of this they can do very well in both offensive and defensive play. A couple examples are Mario and Pit. The power archetype is the heavyweight characters, slow characters that have very high damage output and knockback with little hit stun. These characters kill extremely early and die extremely late. Raw power defines this archetype, but is usually counteracted with slow moves or slow speed. The best example being Bowser and Donkey Kong. Defensive and campy is the opposite of offensive characters. Zoners, long-range users, pokers, grapplers, item users, and turtlers all fall under here. Their defining trait is that they usually avoid their opponent and bait them into exploiting their weaknesses from a distance before delivering a punishing blow. Examples being Rosalina and Luma and Olimar. Speedy characters are fast characters that specialize in close-range combat and combos and juggling. Offensive only, that's the defining trait here. Even if they use some long-range attacks, they're always on the offense. Some examples include Sonic and Captain Falcon.
Show me your moves.
With either a ton of inputs per minute, tricky setups, and difficulty of use, these characters are hard to use but offer a ton of reward. Some rely on a unique quirk or ability that affects their play strategy directly, and some just require much time to learn and master certain aspects of their kit. If this archetype is your thing, try my main Mega Man or Peach. Basically what all this means is take a look at all the archetypes, find one that matches your playstyle, and you instantly have a great starting point in determining your main. Another factor to take into consideration is your level of skill. This is mainly geared towards new players, but it is extremely important to make sure you pick a character that is not detrimental to the learning process. One of the best examples to explain my point is actually in Melee. I recently started picking up Melee and I wanted to play Ice Climbers, but I was told that Ice Climbers play so differently from the rest of the cast and how they play neutral that I would only be learning how to play Ices and not Melee, and I would struggle with any other character down the road because my entire playstyle will be based on a character completely different from the cast. My point is, try not to pick a character who rewards bad play. The reason for Glory is flooded with Lynx, Ganons, and Little Max is because these characters give players tools to win by rewarding bad play. These players are rewarded by beating bad players and people who don't know how to deal with the character's tools on For Glory, so they play the character over and over, learning nothing. I mean, if you aren't getting punished for down airing with Link on landing every single time, you won't stop and you won't progress towards getting better. Try picking a main who benefits heavily from winning neutral like Mario. This doesn't mean you shouldn't play Link, Ganon, or Little Mac though. If you really want to main either of them, I advise starting with a good all-rounder that gives you a good understanding of the game, then come back to them once you have an idea and good fundamentals to build on. Because you should pick a character that rewards adaptation and forwards your progress, not stunts it. Last tip is choosing a main based on intended use or intended level of play. As much as people hate tier whoring, it only makes sense that if you plan on doing well in tournament, you should play a top tier, because after all, if you want to be the best Smash player, why not play the best character? There's no character loyalty when it comes to winning tournaments and making money, so if you plan on entering tournaments, I advise staying above this level. Now the best thing about Smash 4 is that there is so much character diversity and balance that this is not mandatory in the slightest. You can put in work with a low tier character and even contend with people who play top tiers. It might just take a bit more work, however. Playing a low tier does mean your opponent might have some matchup and experience which will be in your favor, but keep in mind you're still playing an inferior character by design, so it basically evens out. But if you're just playing in the name of fun, or you just want to be a for glory warrior, then there really is no need to listen to what I just said. This tip is mainly from a I'm looking to play to win standpoint. So after all those tips, what's your next step? Well, one good thing that really helps is to watch top players perform at a high level with the character you think you're interested in. Look and see the combos they're performing. Do they look cool, or do they look like fun? What about the way they're playing the character or the character's movesets? Then try them out for yourself. Get a feel for each of the characters. Every person has a different personal preference and a different reason why they play a character, which is what's so awesome about having a main. Watch some clips, try all the characters out for yourself, and take as much into consideration from this video as you would like, and I guarantee you'll have your main in no time.